So what is a fluid? So fluid is a collection of molec- molecules that are randomly arranged and held together by weak cohesive forces exerted by the walls of the container. So a fluid is a matter that flows under pressure, that includes liquids, gases, and even plasmas. So water is a fluid, air is also a fluid, the sun is also a fluid because that is made up of plasmas, and even molasses are fluids. So what is a fluid mechanics? So this is the study of fluids ranging from rest or ranging from fluids at rest to fluids in motion. So fluid statics is the study of fluids at rest. Then yung fluid dynamics naman, yun naman yung study of fluids in motion. So when it comes to fluid statics, we will be dealing with density, with pressure, with specific gravity, Pascal's principle, and Archimedes principle. So yun yung ating pag-uusapan when it comes to fluid statics. Now, when it comes to fluid dynamics, we will be dealing with the rate of flow or the volume flow rate, the continuity principle. Then we have the Bernoulli principle and the Torricelli's principle. So as I've said earlier, for the fluid statics, we will be dealing with the density. So density is a scalar quantity defined as the ratio of an object's mass to the volume it occupies. So meaning density is equal to mass over volume. So this is also known as the mass density. So because of the formula, ang nandito natin ay yung mass. So this is the mass density. So may iba-iba tayong klase ng density. We have the mass density by which this is the formula. Density is equal to mass over volume. Then we have the weight density, which is expressed as density times the G. Because we know that this is mass times G is also the weight all over the volume. So that is the weight density. So we have a note here that less dense fluids will float on top of more dense fluids, and less dense solids will float on top of more dense fluids, keeping in mind that the average density of the entire solid object must be considered. So this is the reason why some boats are floating. So let's say for example, an ice is less dense than water because the density of water is 1,000 kilogram per cubic meter. Then the density of the ice is 920. So 920 versus 1,000. So dahil nga less dense si ice ang magflo-float kay water. Another example is the oil. Parehas naman silang liquid. So 900 ang oil, ang kanyang density, then the water is 1,000 nga for fresh water. So therefore, the oil floats in water. But we have also to take note that there is a property of oil that makes it also float in water, or bakit hindi sila nagsasama ang water and oil, and that is the viscosity property of the oil. Now, for the specific gravity, so this is the ratio of the density of the substance to that of water. So it means the density of the object or the substance divided by the density of the water. So again, density ng water to get the specific gravity. So again, we have three kinds of density. We have the mass density, which is mass over volume. The weight density, which is weight over volume. And then we have the relative density, which is the density of the object divided by the density of the water. So these are some of the density of common substances. So again, our unit here, since mass is in kilogram and then volume is in cubic meter. So that is the unit for density, kilogram per cubic meter. So we will, so you don't need naman to memorize it. Okay, so let's have sample number one. So the mattress of the wheeled water bed is 2 meter long by 2 meter wide and 30 centimeter deep. Find the weight of the water in the mattress. So, ang given natin, we have the dimension. So, ano yung dimension? And that dimension, we can get the volume. And the dimension are 2 by 2, then by zero point 0.3. So, zero point 0.3 because that is in the unit of centimeter, so we have to convert that into meter. So, what is now the volume? So, what is the volume? 2 times 2. Yan. So, 1.2. Then the unit, of course, is cubic meter. Now, find the weight. So, we are asked to determine for the weight. We know the volume and we know the density. So, what would be the density that you're going to use? So, the mass of the water. So, the density of water is 1,000. So, in that case, we can now solve for the mass. So, since density is equal to mass over volume, so therefore we can say that mass is density times the volume. So the mass is now equal to 1,000. Then times the volume, which is 1.2. So what's now the mass? 1.2 times 1,000. So that will give us 1,200 kilogram. And lastly, we can now get for the weight. And the weight is simply mass times G. So weight is 1, 2. And this is times 9.8. So what is the weight? 11,760 Newton. So that's it for sample problem number one. So let's have another example. A 32 gram, so that would be mass, occupies a volume of 22 liter. What is the weight density? So ang hinahanap natin, rho G of the gas. So in short, we have to convert that, no? So rho G, weight density, is equal to the mass, 32 grams, over volume, which is 22 liter. And then this is times 9.8 to make it a weight density. Okay? Now, but we need to convert that in kilogram per cubic meter. So we know that 1,000 kilo, or 1 kilogram is equivalent to 1,000 gram. And then 1 liter in cubic meter, this is equivalent to 0.001. So in that case, ang gram pala per liter is also equivalent to kilogram per cubic meter. So, yun lang, magkaparehas lang pala sila. So, what is now our rho G? Kasi para maka-cancel lang natin to. So, what's now our weight density? $14.25. And then the unit is now in Newton per cubic meter because we have here, ito ay meter per second square. Then ito yung ating cubic meter. So this is our weight density. Question sa sample problem number 2. Okay, so let's have another example. Now, let's go with the pressure. So, pag kukunin pala natin yung specific gravity, ano yung specific gravity ng object? Ngayon, kung kukunin lang natin rho, what is now the rho? Density lang. It's simply 32 divided by 22. So, what is the rho? Or the mass density? So, 1.45. So, ito yung ating mass density. Now, how about the specific gravity? Ang SPGR, density ng object, which is 1.45. Then, this is divided by sa water. So, unit less ang ating specific gravity. So, 1.45 divided by 1,000, that will give us 0.0 lagyan na natin may 145 yan para medyo specific. Okay? So, ayun yung kaibahan ng tatlo. Ng mass density, relative density, which is the specific gravity, and then the weight density. So, let us now go with the pressure. Pressure is the effect of a force acting upon a surface. It is a scalar quantity calculated as the force applied per unit area. So, the pressure, so let that be P, equal daw siya sa force per unit area. So, in that case, anong unit ng force? Newton. And then, the area is in square meter. So, ito ang ating unit. But take note that this is equivalent to 1 Pascal. So, again, the formula is force over area. So, gagamitin natin itong formula na pressure na force over area if we're talking about the pressure na wala sa fluids or hindi siya nakasubmerge sa any fluids. Next, pressure at a point within a fluid is defined as the ratio of the force acting perpendicular to a small element of a surface area at that point. So again, in equation, the pressure is the change in force over the change in area. In that case, pressure is constant. So if pressure varies with area, so P is equal to dF over dA. By cross multiplication, we can get dA is equal to dF. Now, getting the integral of both sides, so ito yan, lalabas yung integral. So, ang integral ng dF is F. Then, since P is constant, yung pressure, then integral ng dA is A. Kaya, pag isosolve natin to, still, pressure, the pressure is equal to force over area. Again, kapag wala or hindi submerged sa fluids, ang formula ng ating pressure is force over area. Now, if we're talking about the pressure in the fluids or in pressure of the submerged object, meaning mga bagay, may pressure siya kapag nasa fluids, kung ano mang fluids. So the pressure that fluid exerts on an object submerged in that fluid can be calculated almost as simply if the object is submerged to a depth h. The pressure is found by multiplying the density of the fluid by the depth submerged, all multiplied by the acceleration due to gravity. So the P, or the pressure, is simply rho GH, where the rho or density here is the density of the fluid. So, halimbawa, we have a container. So, may laman tayong tubig dyan. So, yung object na nandito, dahil may nilagay ka na, let's say, water, may pressure to ngayon nararamdaman. At ang pressure na nare-read natin dito is the gauge pressure. Because that is submerged on a fluid. Now, ito yung ating height. So, yung height dito, meaning this is the depth from this level. So, ayan yung height. So, meaning the depth, lalim. So, kapag kayo nagsiswimming or scuba diving, so what will happen? As long as palalim kayo ng palalim, you will feel na mas tumataas ang pressure. So, habang lumalalim, so tumataas ang iyong pressure. Again, ang ating gauge pressure, so we will denote that as P sub G is rho GH. Again, ang isa pang formula, force over area. If there is an atmosphere above the fluid, such as the situation here on Earth, you can determine the absolute pressure or total pressure by adding in the atmospheric pressure, which is equal to approximately 101,325. So that is the value of our atmospheric pressure. So ilet na lang natin siya as P sub O, yung ating atmospheric. So P sub O is always 101,325 Pascal. Again, ang 180 M, ayan din ang kanyang equivalent. Okay, so this is now the pressure on submerged object for open and closed container. Now for the open container, the absolute or the total pressure, so let that be P sub T. So kung ang object mo ay nandito, nakasubmerge siya sa water or any fluids, then meron siyang gauge pressure. At dahil nga open yung tank natin or open siya sa atmospheric pressure, so even halimbawa sa dagat or sa river, so meron siyang atmospheric pressure. So PT, or the absolute pressure or the total pressure, is P sub G plus P sub O. Now when it comes to the closed container, let's say sa isang tangke, may nilagay ka ditong object din. So, meron siyang reading dyan, syempre still, kasi submerged siya, so meron siyang P sub G. So, dahil yun lang, so yung P total natin is equal to P sub G. Kasi yun lang yung nag-a-act kapag closed container. And that is not open to air or atmospheric pressure. Kaya ang PT is equal to P sub G or gauge pressure lang when in closed container. Okay tayo dito sa open and close. Before magkaroon tayo ng examples. Hindi naman siguro. So let's have an example. Samantha spots buried treasure while scuba diving on her Caribbean vacation. If she must descend to a depth of 40 meters, so H is 40 meters in lalim. To examine the pressure, what gauge pressure? So we are asked to determine for P sub G. Will she read on her scuba equipment? The density of the seawater is 1030. What is the absolute pressure on the diver by the water and atmosphere? So, absolute meaning pinapahanap din sa atin ng P total. So, in that case, so let us solve first for P sub G. So, what is P sub G? Atmospheric. So, that would be density, rho, times the G, then H, 40. So, what is PG? 403,760 Pascal. Now, since pinapahanap din ng PT, so that would be atmospheric, which is 101,325, plus the PG, 403,760. So what is the total pressure? 505,085. And the unit is Pascal. Or, what is the equivalent of that in ATM? Kung i-convert natin sa atmospheric pressure, divide lang natin by 101,325. So what is the equivalent? Ilang ATM? So 505,085 divided by 101,325. 4.98 siguro. So 4.98 ATM. So sa unit na Pascal, 505. Pero in ATM unit or atmospheric, 4.98 ang pressure. Question, sample number 4. None? Okay, so let's have next. A diver's pressure gauge reads. So meron tayong PG, 250,000. In fresh water. So fresh water, 1,000. How deep? So yan, simple lang. So anong formula? PG is rho GH. So H ang nawawala. So we have PG, 250,000. Divided by the rho, 1,000. And this is times 9.8. So gaano kalalim? So H is 25.51 meter. So ganyan kalalim yung diver. Okay, so let's have another example. So what is now Pascal's principle? So second line, when a force is applied to a contained incompressible fluid, the pressure increases equally in all directions throughout the fluid. So in short, guys, P1, pressure 1, is equal to pressure 2. So P1 is equal to pressure 2. If P1 is equal to P2, ano bang formula ng pressure? Force over area. So we can say that force 1 over area 1 is equal to force 2 over area 2. So that is for Pascal's principle. So ito yung pinakang formula. So this fundamental characteristic of liquids provides the foundation for hydraulic system found in barbershop chairs, construction equipment, and the brakes in your car. So sample natin dito yung car lift. So makikita natin dito yung dalawang piston. So, meron laman ditong fluids. Ayan yung ating fluids. Now, syempre, in this part, meron daw tayong i-apply na force. Syempre, ito naman ay may area. So, ito yung ating force 1. Then, may area 1 tayo dito. So, perpendicular, di ba? Perpendicular. Now, kung hindi tayo gagamit ng Pascal principle, paano natin malilift or mabubuhat yung car, yung weight ng car? Halimbawa, ang weight ng car ay 10,000. Para ma-lift o maangat yung car, ano yung force na dapat mong i-apply para ma-lift? O guys, kahit yung mga barbell lang, kung halimbawa ang barbell, muna 50 kilograms. So para maangat mo yung 50 kilograms, you must exert more than 50, di ba? More than 50. In order to lift the object, you must exert a force more than that. So, but in Pascal, because of the Pascal, kaya siyang iangat even na mas mababa yung force. Kasi nga, force 1 all over area 1 is equal to force. So what will happen? Di ba, kalimbawa, pinush down natin itong force 1. If that push down, so dahil nga meron tayo ditong fluids, so bababa, ito, bababa. Ang mangyayari, ito namang level nito, aakyat, pero may piston tayo dito, kaya itong car will go up or it will lift. So that is for the Pascal's principle. So let's have an example. In a car lift used in a service station, compressed air exerts a force on a small piston that has a circular cross-section and a radius of 5 centimeter. So radius, 5 centimeter. So this is equivalent to 0.05 in meter. So this pressure is transmitted by a liquid to a piston that has a radius of 15. So our R1, ayan. So we can get the area 1. So dahil circular to, ano yung area? Pi r squared. Then sa radius 2, we have 15 centimeter. And this is equivalent to 0.15 meter. So therefore, our area 2 is pi 0.15 squared. What force must the compressed air exert? So hinahanap is F1. To lift a car weighing, ang ating force 2 is 13,300. So by Pascal principle, and then what air pressure? So hinahanap din yung P. So let us get first the value of F1. So Pascal principle, F1 over A1 is equal to F2 over A2. So therefore, force 1 is 13,300. Then this is times pi, then r squared. So area 1, 0.05 squared. Then this is divided by pi, 0.15 squared. So we can cancel the pi. So what is the force? So 1 77.78 Newton. So, biruin mo, para mabuhat yung or tumaas yung 13,000 Newton na kotse, all you have to do is to apply, kailangan lang ng force na 1433, 1477. Now, we are also asked for the pressure. So, what would be the pressure? Force over area lang naman yan. So, that would be P1, which is also equal to P2. So, since ang complete given ay force 2, yun ang force 2 ng ating gamitin. So, 13,300 then divided by the area, 2 pi, then 0.15 squared. So, what is now the pressure? $188, then 156.51 Pascal. So that is the pressure. Question? May question ba? None? Okay. So, check ko lang ulit yung attendance para mamaya kung may dumating date na. Albior. Okay na si Albior. Bantolino. Okay, Bendanillo. Nandito na rin. Amorsolo. Okay. Cruz. Uraniel. Wala. Decena. Okay. De la Cruz. Wala. Domingo. Gran. Sigiling. Nandito na. Habonete. Junio. Okay. Habonete. Wala. Pleideros. Lazaro. Lopez. John Lloyd. Montefrio. Nator. Nievas Oro. Si Oro okay na. Nievas wala. Samaniego. Then dalawang Santos. Samaniego wala. Okay. So let's go with the buoyant force. So buoyant force is the upward force exerted by a fluid on any immersed object. So Archimedes' principle that states that the buoyant force Fb on an object is equal to the density of the fluid multiplied by the volume of the fluid displaced, which is also equal to the volume of the submerged portion of the object multiplied by the gravitational field strength. So in equation, Fb is rho Vg. Rho Vg. So ano ba yung buoyant force? So that would be an upward force. So let's say for example, this is also the reason why boats are floating. So di ba kanina sinabi natin, isang reason kung bakit nag-float is density. But we also have to take note that average density. So, halimbawa, ang pako, kapag nilagay natin sa dagat, still the nail will sink. Kasi mas mataas ang density ng pako compare sa density ng water. Pero bakit ang barko may pako naman 'yon, 'di ba? Kung isipin natin, may pako naman 'yun yung mga barko, may mga bakal pa 'yon, then why they are floating? So din pumapasok na yung sinasabi nating average density. So yung average density, kasi ang barko hindi lang naman siya pure. So hindi naman um, ang barko is hollow. Meaning, mayroong mga butas na pwede pasukan ng air. And ang alam naman natin, di ba, ang air is magaan masyado and napaka-less dense. So that is the reason why boat floats. So let's say for example, we have a plastic bottle. So pag yung plastic bottle nilagay natin sa pool, what will happen? So sumunod natin yung plastic bottle ay isang barko. So, di ba, ang tendency, the plastic bottle will float. Pero, every time, ayan, may bottle, nalagyan siya, pinasukan siya ng tubig, so may tendency pa rin na ito ay nakalutang pa rin. Ngayon, kung yung pinasok yan ng buo, yung buong ano natin dito, yung bottle, tapos ito ngayon, nawala ng space ang air. So, nawala ng space ang air. So, ang mangyayari, ito ngayon ay magsisink. So, that is the reason. Kasi, yung average density mo, wala na. Mas mataas na sa water. Mas mataas na. So, halimbawa din, since pinag-uusapan na rin natin ng buoyant, let's say may bangka ka dito. Ito yung ating river. Meron tayo ditong bangka. So, walang laman. So, assume lang natin na nasa isang container yan. Ngayon, pag nilagyan mo yan ng bagay pa ulit dito, pumatok dito, so ano mangyayari doon sa level ng tubig? Let's say nasa isang container. Diba, ang mangyayari, ito ay aangat. Kasi may nilagay ka dito, so aangat yung level ng ating tubig yan. Assume na nasa isang container. Okay? So, yun yung tinatawag natin na displace. Ito yung volume displace. Yung pag-angat. So again, halimbawa uli, may baso tayo na may tubig. Tapos, nilagyan natin ng yelo. So, ano mangyayari din sa yelo? Sa level ng tubig? Aangat. So again, ito yung ating volume displace. Ito yun, volume displace. Ibig sabihin, yung volume displace na yan, ito ngayon yung volume ng ating object. The volume displace is also the volume of the submerged object. So what will happen guys, kapag full yung baso natin ng tubig, tapos nilagyan nyo ng yelo, tapos hanggang dito, ayan, kunyari ito yung baso, so nandito yung yelo. So what will happen kapag natunaw ang yelo? Mag-overflow ba? Or it will remains the same? Diba meron kayo nilagay na ice kahit saan pa yun. Nung natunaw ba, umapaw? o yung o ganun pa rin kataas. So hindi na kasi nga hindi it will remain the same. Hindi siya aapaw kasi yun na nga yung volume niya eh. So kahit matunaw siya, yun na yung volume niya, hindi siya aapaw. Diba, halimbawa, meron kaya, o kaya hindi naman totally tip hanggang dito. Tapos nilagyan niyo ng yelo, naging ganito yung level. Kaya may yelo-yelo. So kapag natunaw siya, hanggang dyan kataas pa rin pag totally natunaw. Hindi naman siya totally aapaw. Kasi nga, yun yung volume niya. Now, for the Archimedes principle, again, rho Vg tayo. The buoyant force is rho Vg. Yes. Yes, Pelan, Jana, raising hands. Inintay ko yung ano ni Pelanjana because he raised hands. Hindi na nag-raise. Okay. So, Archimedes principle, the buoyant force, again, rho Vg is equal to weight in air minus weight in water. Or weight immersed in the fluid. Yung isa naman, normal weight, yung ating WA. So, sample natin yung paano nakuha tong formula na to. So, let's say, if this is the object, so ito ay mg. Siyempre, let us denote that as weight in air. So, nasa hangin, di pa natin sinasubmerge sa fluids. So, taking the summation of forces at y, so pataas WA, then pababa si mg. Kaya pataas equal sa pababa. So, weight in air is equal to mg. Now, for the buoyant force naman, kunyari, yung object na yan. So, ang reading nandito, let that be WB. Ngayon, nilagay mo siya sa container, may tubig. So, syempre, may mg pa rin to. So, let's say nasa yung reading na natin is weight immersed in fluids. Ngayon, mayroon kasing buoyant force na kumokontra sa kanya pataas. Kaya nga 'di ba, kapag nasa swimming pool kayo, if you try to push a ball downward, meron kayo nararamdaman na force acting upward. So kung ano man yung force na in-apply mo pababa, yun din yung force na mararamdaman mo pataas, and that is the action-reaction sa Newton's third law. Pero dahil nga may tumutulong din para ito ay umangat or mag-float, which is the buoyant force. Now, if we take the summation of forces at y, so ang mga pataas dito ay WB, saka FB pataas, equal sa pababa, which is mg. Now, solving for FB, so buoyant force, and we know what mg is, which is weight in air. So, minus WB. So, kaya ito nakuha itong formula na to. Now, to determine the density of the material without knowing its volume, the formula is the density of the object is equal to WA divided by WA minus WB. So, saan naman siya galing? So, galing siya sa formula natin, naborin ko muna ito. Diba, ang buoyant force is equal to rho Vg. So, sabi din di ba dito, ito yung volume displaced which also be the volume. So, this is density ng fluid. Thus, volume displaced will also be the volume of your object. Ano ba ngayon formula ng volume? Diba? Mass over volume ang density. So, we can write that as mass ng object divided by density ng object. Ito yung V. Pero times G. At take note that ito ay mg, which is the weight in air. Weight in air. So ngayon, palitan natin to. Ito rin pala ang FB. So we have density ng fluid divided by density ng object times weight in air equals WA minus WB. Now, by cross multiplication, ito ang ating hinahanap. So, ilalagay natin siya dito. So, ito naman mapupunta sa ilalim. So, therefore, ito ang lalabas na formula. Density of the object is weight in air divided by weight in air minus weight in water or immersed object, then times the density of the fluid. So, doon siya galing, yung formula na ito. Now, let's have an example. Case 1. If the object is totally submerged in fluid, the volume of the fluid is the volume of the object. Ito nga yung inano natin dito. Yan. Volume displaced will be the volume of the object. Case 2, if the object is floating or partially submerged, the volume of the fluid is equal to divided by the volume of the object. So that would be the F, the fraction of fluid submerged. So let's say, or density of the fluid divided by the density of the object. So, dyan natin makikita, pwede rin sa specific gravity, kung ilang percent ba yung nakalubog. Kasi halimbawa, ang ice, saka water. Di ba kung mapapansin nyo, pag yung ice nilagay nyo sa water, hindi naman totally buong ice mo ay naka-submerge sa ilalim ng tubig. May part. So, ilang percent yung part ng water na naka-expose sa air, ng ice na naka-expose sa air, at ilang part yung naka-submerge sa water. So, by taking the specific gravity, ano ba specific gravity ng ice, di ba? 920. So, 920 divided by in water, so that would be 920 divided by 1,000. So, 0.92 yon. So, times 100, 92%. So, meaning, 92% part ng ice is in water, submerged. Then, yung natitirang 8%, naka-expose sa air. So, halimbawa naman, kung sa oil mo gagamitin, 900. Tapos yung oil, ang oil 900. Ang water, ang ice is 920. So, ano mangyayari? Pag nilagay natin ng oil, ang ice sa oil. Tingnan natin yung density. So, ano mangyayari? O, sa langis. Pag nilagay natin ng yelo sa langis, dahil mas mataas ang density ni oil, ni water, ni ice kay oil, so ang tendency fully submerged si water, si ice, fully submerged siya. Lulubog. Okay? So, what is the buoyant force on a 0.3 cubic meter box? So, volume natin to. So, we are asked for buoyant force. So, density, 1,000. Okay? Buoyant force is simply rho Vg, 1,000 times 0.3. And this is times 9.8. So, what is the buoyant force? (2,940 Newton. So, yan lang. Simple lang ang ating buoyant force. Rho Vg. Next example. Archimedes supposedly was asked to determine whether a crown made for the king consisted of pure gold. According to legend, he solved this problem by weighing the crown first in the air and then in water. Suppose the scale reads 7.84 Newton when the crown was in air. So, in air, meaning we have weight in air, is 7.84. And then, yung weight in water, kapag in-immerse sa tubig, ang reading na ay 6.84. What should Archimedes told the king? So, we need to determine the density. So, di ba, yung density ng object is equal to weight in air, which is 7.84. And then, this is divided by the weight in air minus weight in water times the density of the fluid. Since he used water, so that would be 1,000. Now, what is the density of the object? So, what's the density? (7,840). Okay. So, kung ikaw si Archimedes, what will you tell to the king? Or what should be your advice or what you have told the king? Ang nakita natin density, 7,843. Is that made up of gold? So, balikan na ngayon natin yung density. Common substances. Okay. Ang gold, eto kanyang density, 19,300. So, therefore, Archimedes must tell the king that the crown is not made up of gold. But it is made up of what? So, ano yung crown? Made up of what? So, tingin sa density ng mga substances dito. So, iron or steel. Yun. Iron or steel. Since the density of the object is 7,840, therefore, the crown is not made up of gold, but it was made up of iron or steel. Gawa pala sa bakal. Kaya 'di ba, so ayan, pwede niyo siyang malaman if you want to try kung totoo ba yung mga silver nyo, pwede nyo i-experiment yan. Okay? Okay, so let's now go with the fluid dynamics. So kailangan natin tapusin ng buong fluids yan. So fluid dynamics is the study of fluids in motion. So this includes rate of flow or continuity principle, Bernoulli's principle, and Torricelli's principle. So para masabi nating ideal yung flow, fluid should be non-viscous, no friction. The flow is steady, streamlined. So palinya. The fluid is incompressible and the flow is irrotational. Kasi nga, paline lang. So the rate of flow is the volume of fluid that flows past some cross section of a vessel in time. It is symbolized by J. So letter J ang ating rate of flow. So ano yung formula ngayon ng ating rate of flow, which is also the volume flow rate na tinatawag. It is a uniform pipe and area is constant since volume is equal to the length multiplied by the area of the cross-section of the pipe. Therefore, the flow rate, J, is equal to volume over time. Now, bakit siya naging area times velocity? Area times velocity. Ano bang unit ng volume? That would be cubic meter. And time is in second. And we can also say that is m squared times m over s. So m squared is area, unit for area, and meter per second is unit for velocity. So talagang ang flow rate is also area times velocity. So letter J is the flow rate. Now, for the i-relate natin siya sa continuity. So ang continuity, J in is equal to J out. So in short, dahil nga ang flow rate ay area times velocity, so pwede natin sabihin J1 is equal to J2. If J1 is equal to J2, then area 1 times velocity 1 is equal to area 2 times velocity 2. So when the fluids move through a full pipe, the volume of the fluid that enters the pipe must equal to the volume of fluid that leaves the pipe. So sample lang din natin to kung mag-flow rate tayo. So I know that some of you nakapagdilig na naman siguro kayo, no guys? Nakapagdilig na ba kayo? Gamit ang hose in your life, siguro naman. So, ano mapapansin nyo? Hawak niyo yung hose, tapos, let's say, ganito yung ginawa nyo experiment. After 1 minute, kunyara. After 1 minute, hawak niyo yung hose, nilagay nyo sa timba. Ay yung para sinalak nyo sa timba, nagigib kayo, hawak nyo lang yung hose. After 1 minute, di ba, meron kayong mapupuno or may number of amount of volume kayo ng tubig na maiipon. Ngayon, sa pangalawang senaryo naman, ang ginawa mo, still another 1 minute. But this time, yung tip ng hose, medyo hinarangan nyo ng finger nyo. So, anong nangyari doon sa velocity ng tubig? What happened? Tinakpan nyo ng konti. So what happened to the velocity of the water? Sa hose. Bumilis. Pero ano nangyari dun sa area na pinaglabasan ng tubig? Lumiit. Now, dun sa unang senaryo, mas malaki yung area kasi hindi mo nilagyan ng, hindi mo tinapalan ng daliri mo. Pero, yung velocity naman ay mas mabagal. Pero, kahit gawin mo yung dalawa, after 1 minute, magkaibang scenario, after 1 minute, parehas lang ng number of volume or parehas lang kayo ng naipon sa loob ng 1 minuto. So that is the volume flow rate. Okay? So, ibig sabihin pala, mas maliit ang area, mas mabilis ang velocity. So, let us see. Water enters a typical garden hose of diameter 1 point. So, enter. Ito yung, let that be our D1. Diameter, 1.6. So, kailangan natin radius. So, what is the radius? 0.8 centimeter. So, gawin natin in meter. So, this is 0.008 meter. Now, ano kaya ng ating area? So, dahil nga, diameter, radius. So, malamang isa siyang circle, yung area. So, ang host din naman, circle din naman siya. Yung, ano natin doon, yung pinakang tip. So, ano nga yung area ng circle? So, pi r squared. So, we have pi 0.008 squared. So, yan yung kanyang radius. Next, ang velocity 1 daw ay 3 meter per second. Calculate the exit velocity, which is the V2. When a nozzle of 0.5 centimeter, so ibig sabihin, mas maliit. So, ang R2, 0.25. Or 0.0025 meter. So, ang ating area 2 is pi 0.0025 squared. So, ano yung exit velocity? Since A1, B1 is equal to A2, B2, therefore, A2, B2, A1, pi 0.008 squared. Then V1, this is times 3. Divided by pi, then 0.0025 squared. So what is the velocity? Exit velocity. So take note, mas maliit ang diameter nito. So we must expect that the velocity must be faster. So 30.72. So this is now the velocity. Now, if I ask you, what is the flow rate? What is J? What is the flow rate? Since J is A1 times V1 lang, yun na ang ating flow rate. So, anong A1? Pi 0.008 squared times 3. So, what is the flow rate? Yeah, so 0.0000603 cubic meter per second. Parang nabawasan kayo. Mag-check ulit ako ng attendance from the start. Abelio, nawala si Abelio. Albio Adya. Okay, Albior. Amar. Andaya, Marsolo, Banares, Bandino, Bantolino, Bendanillo, Bihasa, Biniegas, Calaguas, Cruz, Decena, De La Cruz, Fajardo, Garcia, Giling, Gomaro, Huevos, Puño, Lau, Marayag. Nawala rin si Lopez, Bruce. Dalawa na yung nag-leave. Marayag, Milana, Montefrio. Okay, we have Lopez and Abelio. Oo nga, nag-check lang uli ako. Lopez Abelio. Ito. Okay. Oro. Elendiana. So, yung mga nag-leave, ma-block na nga ang kanilang gagawin ngayon. Huwag kasi basta-basta mag-out. Pakisagutan nga muna itong discussion 4. Ilala ko siya ng alauna. Sagutan nyo muna ngayon. Hindi ko na ito open. Tapos, sa gagawin kong breakout room, kung sino lang yung nasa breakout room, sila lang yung kasama sa group. Same group, hindi nyo sila isasama kahit mamayang hating gabi nyo pa ito isasubmit. Lahat ngayon ng submission. Okay, so yung Bernoulli's principle, before para matapos na itong discussion, medyo nawalan ako nagana sa mga nag-leave. So tandaan lang natin dito sa Bernoulli's principle, kapag closed container. So again, pag Bernoulli, moving tayo, moving na yung ating flow. So P1, ito yung ating gagamitin formula, P1 plus 1/2 rho V squared. So that would be 1 plus rho G Y1 equal sa P2 plus 1/2 rho velocity 2 squared plus rho G, and this is Y sub 2. So isipin na lang natin yung Y sub 2, yung height kung saan lumabas. Then yung Y sub 1 naman kung saan nagsimula. So halimbawa, pag ganito, itong nakikita nating figure, Y1 natin dito is 0. Kasi assume nasa ground siya. Tapos, ito naman yung ating Y2. So, kung naging ganito naman, so ito ating Y1, and this would be our Y2. Height kung saan lumabas. So, that would be the depth. So, sample. Again, ito yung ating pinakang formula ng Bernoulli. So, a water main of area 0.003 square meter at ground level flows at 2 meter per second into Kate's house. At the second floor, shower head, 5 meter above the ground. So let's say yan. So ito daw ay 5 meter. So this will be our y sub 2. At ito ay at the ground. So ating y1 is 0. Tapos, ang area nito nakalagay ay 0.03. 03. Then, moving siya ng 2 meter per second. Then, area naman nito sa taas, lumabas sa 0.001. Then, meron daw reading dito, P1 is 2 ATM, which is equivalent to, ang 1 ATM is 101,000, so 202,000. 325 is, kasi 101,000 times 2. 101,325 times 2, so that would be 202,650 Pascal. So, ang pinapahanap, yung gauge pressure just prior to the shower head if the water's main pressure gauge reads 2 atm. So, nawawala yung P1 saka yung P2. P2 saka velocity 2. Pero pwede muna nating ma-solve si velocity 2. Kasi nga, by the use of the continuity. Area 1, V1, is equal to area 2, V2. So what is now the velocity 2? Ang area 1 ay 0.003. Velocity ng 1 ay 2 meter per second. Then this is divided by area 2, 0.001. So ilan? So velocity 2 is 6 meter per second. Okay, so gamitin na ngayon natin yung Bernoulli. Dahil nga sa ilalim, close siya. Nasa ground siya sa ilalim. So ibig sabihin, no presence ng atmospheric pressure. So Bernoulli ang ating gagamitin. So P1, ano yung P1? 202,650 plus 1/2 rho, by which water naman yung tumatap nandyan. Then, V1, velocity 1, 2 squared plus 1,000, then 9.8 G. Pero ang Y1 natin ay nasa ground. Kaya ito ay cancel. Then, equal sa P2, yung hinahanap, plus 1/2, water pa rin, 1,000. Then velocity 2 ay 6. Nakuha na natin. Plus rho, 1,000. G. Then height, kung saan lumabas, 5. Okay? So, how are we going to solve for P2? So, P2 now is equal to 202,650. So, ano to? Ano equivalent? 1/2 times 1,000 times 2 squared. So, 2 squared over 2, 2 times 1,000. 2,000 lang. Tama ba? So, plus 2,000. Then, minus. Kasi we have to transpose this. So, ilan to? 36 divided by 2, 18 times 1,000. So, minus 18,000. Then, minus, eto naman, anong katumbas? 1,000 times 9.8 times 5. $49,000. So, ano yung total ng P2? O ilang ATM? Kasi ATM ang given sa atin eh. So, balik natin sa ATM. .33. So, divide lang naman natin sa 101,325. Okay? So, for the Torricelli, again, For Bernoulli's principle, ito yung ating formula. P1 plus 1 half rho V1 squared plus rho GY1 equals P2 plus 1 half rho V2 square plus rho GY2. So, ayan yung ating Bernoulli. Now, again, ayan ang ating gagamitin kapag naka-close. Ngayon, sa Torricelli, parehas open sa atmospheric pressure. So kung mapapansin natin yan, so kung parehas silang open dito sa atmospheric, kasi ito butas, ito rin, kita rin. So yung P1 and P2 are equal. So cancel. So yan na lang natira. At napapansin na lahat ay may rho. Siyempre, isa lang naman dumadaloy sa kanila. Iisa lang yung density. So we can cancel the density. So, yan na lang natira. Now, kapag hindi ko pa ito ino-open, guys, so assume natin ito na lang, dito kasi tayo nagsimula. Ito ang ating gawing V1, ito ang ating gawing V2, yung exit. Kung hindi pa tayo nagsisimula, or di pa natin ino-open yung tank, so this is at rest, fluid static. Ngayon, binuksan ko to, syempre magkakaroon ngayon to ng flow. Initially, what is the initial velocity nito? And that would be 0. So, V1 would be 0. So, if this is 0, so cancel na natin to. So, yan na lang natira. So, natira na lang GY1 equals 1 half V2 square plus GY2. So, base dito, ito yung magiging Y1 ko. Y1. Then, ito ngayon aking Y sub 2. So, para makuha yung H, it means Y1 minus Y2. Okay? So, let us solve for V sub 2. Para ma-solve natin yung V sub 2, transpose muna natin to, di ba? So, magiging 1 half V2 square. Ito, i-retain natin. So, equal GY1 minus GY2. So, therefore, V sub 2 square, cross-multiply, or multiply the whole equation by 2. So, this is now 2. Pero common ng G. Then, this is Y1 minus Y2. So, nakita naman natin, di ba, yung Y1 minus Y2 is our H. So, getting the square root, ito na yung lalabas. Velocity, yung exit velocity natin, is equal to 2GH. Square root of 2GH. So, yun yung Torricelli kapag naka-open. So, sample. A large open barrel is filled with water to a height o may H 1 meter. Calculate the initial flow of water from 1.2 centimeter radius hole when the cork is removed. So, simple lang. 2GH. 2 times 9.8 times 1. Pinampagulo lang to. So, what's the velocity? So, 4.43.